What was Jesus doing during the enigmatic silent years between his childhood and the beginning of his ministry? This period, spanning nearly 2 decades, is one of the greatest mysteries within the Christian narrative, barely touched upon in the scriptures. As we ponder what might have shaped the early life of one of history's most transformative figures, consider how this uncharted time could reveal unseen aspects of his character and teachings. Dive into this mystery with us, and don't forget to subscribe to delve deeper into the hidden facets of biblical stories that continue to influence millions. The life of Jesus Christ, as documented in the canonical Gospels, leaves a significant gap between his childhood and the start of his ministry around the age of 30. These 18 years, often referred to as the silent years, remain shrouded in mystery, offering minimal scriptural insight into what Jesus did during this time. Despite the lack of detailed biblical accounts, this period has sparked considerable curiosity and scholarly debate, prompting us to explore the possible activities and experiences that could have shaped the early life of one of history's most pivotal figures. The Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John provide a robust framework for Jesus' birth, early childhood, and extensive ministry, but pause significantly when it comes to his adolescence and early adulthood. Luke 2:52 succinctly notes, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man." This single verse suggests a period of growth and maturation, but does not delve into specifics, leaving a canvas for theological and historical conjecture. This gap in the scriptural narrative has not been overlooked by historians and theologians who have attempted to fill it with a blend of historical context, apocryphal texts, and cultural analysis. Some hypothesize that Jesus might have traveled beyond the confines of Nazareth, possibly venturing as far as India or Egypt, absorbing diverse spiritual and philosophical teachings that later influenced his doctrines. From a theological perspective, these silent years present an intriguing paradox. On one hand, they represent a divine preparation, a time during which Jesus could have been divinely groomed for his forthcoming public ministry. On the other hand, they reflect a profoundly human experience, potentially filled with ordinary work, family life, and social interactions that would resonate with the common man. The idea that Jesus might have engaged with various cultures and philosophies during these years opens up several interpretative avenues. For instance, the presence of thriving Jewish communities in Alexandria could suggest that if Jesus traveled to Egypt, he might have engaged with Hellenistic scholars and texts. Such interactions could have provided Jesus with a broader intellectual and spiritual outlook, enriching his teachings with a universal appeal that transcended traditional Jewish boundaries. Analyzing the implications of these silent years requires understanding the socio-political and religious context of the time. During the early 1st century, Galilee was a melting pot of various cultures and religious thoughts, influenced heavily by Roman occupation and Hellenistic culture. This backdrop is crucial as it could have provided Jesus with exposure to diverse religious practices and philosophical teachings, which may have shaped his later messages of love, tolerance, and forgiveness. The speculation that Jesus might have traveled to Eastern lands, studying under gurus and spiritual leaders, although not supported by canonical texts, suggests an openness in considering how Eastern philosophies might align with Christian teachings. Critics of the theory that Jesus traveled far from his native land during the silent years argue that there is no historical evidence to support such claims. Moreover, they suggest that Jesus' teachings do not necessarily reflect direct influences from Eastern religions or philosophies, but rather the common theological undercurrents that permeate many ancient ethical teachings. Scholars like Geza Vermes argue that Jesus was likely a charismatic Jewish teacher, deeply embedded within his own cultural and religious traditions. This perspective emphasizes that understanding Jesus within the context of Jewish apocalyptic thought is essential, and it is unlikely that his formative years deviated significantly from typical Jewish life of the period. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the exploration of what Jesus might have done during these 18 years opens up a valuable discussion about the nature of his teachings and their impact. This exploration not only deepens our understanding of Jesus as a historical and religious figure, but also enhances our appreciation for the complexity of his teachings and the profound influence they have had on the world. It invites believers and scholars alike to ponder the mysteries of his life, encouraging a deeper engagement with the spiritual and historical context of his time. Our journey through the silent years of Jesus offers a tapestry of theories and possibilities that challenge us to think beyond the written word, to understand the depths of his life and teachings. While the Gospels focus on the well-documented phases of his life, these unrecorded years provoke thoughts about the influences that shaped his later ministry. What are your thoughts on these speculative years? Could they hold the key to understanding the universality of his message? Share your insights below. And if you found this exploration intriguing, please subscribe, like, and share to join us in uncovering more mysteries. Thank you for engaging with us as we seek to understand the life of Jesus in all its dimensions. God bless you.